Hello. I hope you're doing all very well. We're going to have a lot of fun watching the game on Saturday. We're going to have a lot of fun because Argentina are through, and it'll be quite obvious, especially after Brazil defeat Croatia. Now, you just think about it. Like, Messiah, he's not only a god by winning the World Cup for Argentina, well, he will be a god of Argentina and their people if he does win the World Cup. But what makes him even more of a god in fine fashion winning the World Cup against your top two rivals, your top continental rival, and then your top European rival that goes all the way back to 1966, where England had a goal that was offsides. So the English fans always talk about the hand of God, but what is never said in English media is that England scored a goal which should have not been ruled onside. It was actually offsides, but because it was rigged, because the Queen and England were hosting the World Cup, it was rigged for England to beat Argentina in 1966. And then you had the Falklands conflict of 1982, and then the very next World Cup, there is a hand of God goal that the ref never ruled out. And then minutes later, the most legendary goal ever scored in the World Cup occurred when Maradona took on five defenders single-handedly, like a basketball player, just walloping through the defense with the ball. Maradona showed that even without the hand of God goal, that he was going to win that match for Argentina, even if it went to extra time. Without the hand of God goal, you're talking 1-1 extra time. Maradona would have found a way to win. And then there's 1998, where Diego Simeone, Atletico Madrid manager, tough challenge on David Beckham. David Beckham trips Simeone, upset, gives him a red card. Argentina are through in the round of 16. Beckham was cursed everywhere he went. This was before social media, but everyone was upset with him. He was booed, he was jeered, he was heckled everywhere he went. In all the matches he played with Man United, went on to win the treble the very next year. And then dealing with the aftermath, David Beckham redeems himself. 2002, he gets the penalty. He scores the penalty goal. England knock out Argentina. Argentina are knocked out of the group stage of 2002. England are through to the knockouts. So there's such a storied rivalry. The Falklands conflict just adds an extra edge to Argentina in England. I think the older fans feel the hatred and vengeance against England. If these old fans of Argentina would never accept Masia unless if he won the World Cup like Maradona, wouldn't that be very poetic to do it against an old-time rival? That these 50, 60-year-old fans, they remember Maradona. They remember England. They remember they were alive during the Falkland conflict. If Masia beats England out of all teams in the final, on top of beating Brazil, beating all the top rivals, no matter what generation, Brazil is always the top rival of Argentina. But it's going to make it special for these older fans if Masia does it against England. That he would be accepted by these older fans on a whole new level than what would have been if there was no England in the final. This is a very big deal to the older generation of Argentinians who have not forgotten about the Falkland conflict. This guy really would be the king of all kings if Argentina beat Brazil and England in the same World Cup. If Argentina beat Brazil and England in the top World Cup. This is about the size of the trophy in real life. There's pictures of it. There's pictures of Cannavaro holding the trophy, and likewise your Spanish players, your Mbappe, and all that. World Cup trophy is a smaller trophy than you think it is. It's about the right size, but it's magnificent. It's fun to hold. It's fun to hold and drink. It is. It's fun. Thank God this glass arrived. It came from China, ordered on the 11th, the very day before the start of the knockout. The glass came in. It came in the day before. I think the rivalry aspect, continental and European rival, would put Masia over the top back at home. It would just be another chapter of Brazil Argentina. Brazil could never defeat the Messiah after the death of Diego Maradona. It didn't matter how great Brazil was. Messiah would never ever lose to Brazil again. Brazil can beat everybody except Messiah. Because he had Diego Maradona inside him to carry Argentina to victory. To beat Brazil twice. The only thing in Brazil's way was Messiah. Look at that. Look at that. That is Maradona-esque. That is Maradona-esque right there. It didn't matter about Cameroon. It didn't matter anyways. That's just what made Qatar Qatar. That's what made this World Cup Qatar. The St. George Cross ritual symbolism is going to come into play after the birthday of George Bergoglio's 86th birthday. The cross, he died on the cross, Jesus Christ. The cross has symbolism for Messiah. It's on the emblem of the Barcelona logo. St. George is a canonized saint in Catalonia. They're wearing the cross. They're wearing the cross this year. They're wearing the St. George's emblem. FC Barcelona this year. Now, to answer a question here, if France, if it's not England to go through, then you know what? The symbolism with Francis would be that Argentina win the cup against France after France's birthday. They beat France after France's birthday, but I'm going off of the first name of the Pope, Jorge, George, St. George's Cross. Otherwise, it'd be against Francis beat France after France's birthday. So the tribute to the Pope, there's only two possible teams: England and France. France and Francis, you see the rhyme, and then the St. George's Cross, Jorge is George in Spanish. And beating France would be pretty impressive because they failed to repeat, but Messiah beats them. He beats the stacked France team. So, very, really, really impressive either way. I will go with the history. I'll go with beating the rivals over beating France in the final. Rodrigo de Paul will probably not play because of a muscular problem, because there's 2 days until Brazil. So Guido Rodriguez is going to step up. Di Maria is gone. Paredes is there. Enzo Fernandez will just step in right in this place. So these injuries don't matter because Argentina have a lot of talent sitting on the bench. It's just next man up and move on like any big country, like France, like Brazil. Argentina, it's still different. So Guido Rodriguez, Fernandez, Paredes is possible. Paredes can respond after a poor first game against Saudi Arabia. And I imagine Guido Rodriguez, after a fine performance against Mexico, is going to shut him down again. So Messiah and company are going to win in regulation, uh, under 2.5 goals. Argentina looking great. They controlled the Mexico match. They dominated Poland. When they broke through the bus parking of Australia, Messiah was brilliant. Messiah was pissed off. This guy has Michael Jordan fire. He's got Michael Jordan fire in his face. Let me show you what I read on FOTMOB today here in a second. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Let me go. Let me go there. Team news, team news, team news, team news. Busty even bigger after Australia bought inner fire. Messi pressed Behich in the corner of the pitch and won an Abisoste throw-in, with the pair then tangled in a brief tussle. Within seconds, Messi had fired a precious opener, his first World Cup knockout goal. McAllister says, Leo, when these things happen, he brings out that inner fire that he has, that personality that makes him even bigger than he is. So he got in that little tussle. It pissed off Messi, and it brought the inner fire of Lionel Messi out, of Messiah. It brought the inner fire of him. And he did well. He did well. I like a 2-0 scoreline. It could be any scoreline. It could be 1-0 even. If Netherlands score, maybe 2-1. I like Argentina to score 2 goals, but I like the clean sheet. If anyone else were to score, I think Lautaro can redeem himself. Inter's Gematria 66 and 30. It's also Holland that has Gematria 66 and 30. So to me, I think the very next match, injecting himself with painkillers, Lautaro Martinez can quickly forget about the last match. So we'll see. We'll see what the lineup's going to be. Although it looks like Alvarez is going to be in the lineup. But again, anything can happen before the match, and DePaul should be there for Brazil, and Guido Rodriguez will step right in. Argentina of all the talent in the world. There's McAllister, there's DePaul who can play. I don't know if DePaul will play yet. DePaul may not get a minute at all because he plays the same position as Messi. He's a very good link-up playmaking player. So there's no room for Dybala. Dybala is just number 2 behind Messi. If Messi gets hurt at all, then Dybala takes over the playmaking duties. So Dybala has a very peculiar purpose. So scoreline 2-0. Argentina finally scored in the first half of the game. The last game, ultimately is going to continue to ball it out with aerial duels. Doesn't matter how tall Australia was. Argentina their heart was gonna allow them to jump up and head the ball away from whoever was on the front line of Australia. Holland is another tall team. We've already been tested the center backs, I think, in the prior round. What makes Argentina Brazil a certainty is South America, whole continent watching, mega ratings from that region for FIFA. Qatari Saint Germain, PSG, aka I call them Qatari Saint Germain, Qatar Sporting Investments. Two of their biggest stars are playing against each other in the semifinals. When we talk about Brazil in 2026, when they win the World Cup, the only thing that could stop them in the prior World Cup was Messiah. Yeah, I mean, that one, I mean, the fact that Tatum had Dimaggio 21 and 84, and Arizona was Dimaggio 81, and Jason was Dimaggio 21, seemed like the Celtics were going to win that game, even though with the Suns' home record, it was, I don't know, but Phoenix Suns are not looking like a contender. I'm a Sun fan, but also I'm Goki LeBron fan, so I follow Goki LeBron in basketball. But obviously, Kachal always come first. Croatia, no striker up top without Mandzukic. From a storyline aspect, you can't hype it up any better. If Brazil are the favorite and Argentina go down 1-0, and it's the suspense is there that Brazil are going to cruise their way to victory, an early goal, but then the magic of Messiah and Argentina are going to come back and win the match against Brazil. It will be a comeback. It will be a comeback. I think Brazil will score first. Then, if Argentina score and hold on against Brazil, then Argentina will just show how dominant they really are. But something tells me Argentina will have to come back from behind against Brazil. Still in regulation. Still in regulation. Well, sports books are just fine. I mean, Brazil's the de facto favorite of the World Cup. The media, all the pundits in the media are telling everyone that's going to be Brazil and France in the final. That's who the bettors are going to go with. They've been psychologically programmed ever since the opening match to have doubt in this team because they only beat Australia by a goal and because they lost to Saudi Arabia. So the job was already done. People are still scared and don't believe in Argentina. So they knew exactly what they're doing when they had Saudi Arabia winning. Plus, when we talk about the Pope's birthday and having hope and faith, that's what Messiah is all about. This is not supposed to be a favorite. This is supposed to be a team that's going to scare you away. And having hope and faith is all that matters. It's all that matters because they have the Messiah. They have the Messiah. They have the King. That's all that matters. Messiah says, have faith. He said, have faith. We have heart. We have passion. They have Maradona. Otamendi was called up from Diego Maradona himself. No wonder why he's having a hell of a tournament because he is fighting not only for Messiah, but he's also fighting for Diego Maradona. Di Maria will when he's inevitably back. So will Messiah too. This World Cup is for everyone. For the people of Argentina, for Messiah, for Diego Maradona. Diego Maradona will flip off England again when Argentina lifting that trophy. And they'll beat Brazil because of one guy, Messiah, who Maradona lives on. Maradona never walks alone. That's what this World Cup is all about. You either believe in it or you don't. You're going to have fun and you're going to win. We know no matter what happens, no matter what deficit, we have the King. The King must see it. The King. Can't wait to say they have lots of fun. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Lots of fun. Just like Hispania. España is to match at 56. They're the last team to win the World Cup after their opening match. Spain is to match at 23. Argentina are 2-3 in the final. Spain is to match at 59. The state of Qatar is to match at 59. España is to match at 20. Messi is to match at 20. Luceo is to match at 20. Switzerland, who Spain lost to. Switzerland's to match at 52. I have 5 viewers and 2 likes. Argentina had 5 goals and 2 allowed in the opening stage. Even Switzerland scored in the 52nd minute to win 1-0 against Spain in that match. It's gonna happen again. It's gonna happen again. That golden generation Messiah could have been a part of. Spain were the last team to lose the opening match and win the World Cup. Well, Messiah never needed España. He's gonna show why he loves Argentina, that he felt homesick, that he always felt something for his home nation, and he shows that he can lead his own golden generation as a 19-1 natural born leader life path. He is leading a new generation that were single digits years old, 12 years old, watching Messiah, a young Messiah in the World Cup all the way back in 2006. And that's how old many of these players were. This would be the golden of all golden generations to win the World Cup after Saudi Arabia. To be 5.5 to 1 in the quarterfinals, to be 8.5 to 1 in that before that last match against Poland. All this happening with the gold on that team. And they are going to go through. And when Brazil defeat Croatia, it should feel inevitable what is going to happen when you're watching that match between Orange and the Abbey Celeste.